Alright everyone, it's time. Summer tier list, part 2. So I heard the comments last time and you guys want art. Because I care about the art. So I put the extra effort in. Okay? I put the extra effort in this time and we're gonna have art. Alright? It's done. First up, summer corn. I dig summer corn. I dig corn in general. I don't think corn is a bad character and or unit. She's got BST 147. Okay, I can live with that. She's overall kind of just average now in the current metagame because she is kind of like a book 1-ish unit. Albeit not early book 1, but kind of early book 1. Either way, art is solid. I'm a fan. Blue tome. You know I love blue tomes. Solid BST for a tome. I can live with it. I'm going to go ahead and put Corrin in at the A rank. Because that, I feel like, is a decent baseline to see what's like top tier. And then what's kind of just meh-ish. Next up, Elise. Summer Elise weirds me out. Just going to be real with that. She is a green tome, I think. Yes. Infantry unit. BST 147. Yeah, same as Corrin, except she's not a flyer, which kind of dings her points in my opinion. Super low defense. Doesn't matter. She's a tome unit. That's to be expected. But overall, pretty similar stats, nevertheless. But she's a green tome, and that means, of course, she gets some points dinged because I hate summoning for green tomes. And that is a personal preference that I will never back down from. I'm going to pop her in at B, just because I feel like there are other options out there. But, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Elise, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of either of the younger sisters and Fates. I find them kind of annoying and far too cheerful. And so B tier for Elise. Summer Xander. Oh yes. Back in the good old days when we had equal representation of male and female units on special banners, Summer Xander was rocking it. Look at him. The thirst was real, I am sure. And bonus points because he actually has a Lilith floaty thing that I initially thought was a surfboard, but it's definitely not. It's more of like a floaty, which makes it even better, honestly. And so the art is top tier, in my opinion. His base stat total is 157, which is 10 whole points higher than his sisters. But he is an axe unit. He's a little bit slow. He has super high HP. And back before I knew what kind of fodder he had, I just merged them all together. But I don't regret it, because he's beefcake, and I'm okay with it. Summer Xander, A tier. Mainly because of the Lilith floaty. And that's the closest we are to date of having Lilith in this game. So we gotta give points for that. So I'm gonna put Xander in at A tier. And rounding out the Norian summer that we had way back is our Tomato Prince, Leo. Leo here, again, not one of my favorite characters, but he grew on me as I played the game. Because he's just being aloof. He's actually a good guy. He's a red tome infantry unit. BST 147. Gee, I wonder where that number came from. Again, relatively similar stat line to his sisters. However, he has a pretty high res stat. 35. Which is pretty dope. He sacks a little bit in attack and speed because of that. But he is a feasible-ish ploy user. At least he was back in the day. I'm sure there are better options now, but that doesn't matter. Because not everybody is A, summer unit, and B, a Tomato Prince. Overall, not a huge fan of the art, though. Which, again, is a pretty big sticking point for me. And so I gotta put Leo in at C tier, unfortunately. If he had slightly more cheerful art, like Elise or Corrin, I'd be down with it. But he's just so sad looking. And even if that's fitting, you know, that is what it is. Give me Horse Leo. Horse Leo is best Leo. And that's that. So Leo, unfortunately, I gotta pop him in at C tier. I've never actually pulled him either, so that's kind of deducting from his points on me as well. So, and I don't, actually, are we even getting these banners back? Because I didn't see them on the calendar, and they have yet to appear in Fae. Are we not getting Nori and Summer back? Is that just not a thing? Is that not a thing? Lind, best girl in Shadow Dragon. I don't care what anybody says. New mystery, don't care. Marth's game has Lind, and that's why I love Marth's game. And when she got a summer ult, I flipped. I don't know if I recorded it, but I flipped. I was super stoked. I love Lind as a tome unit. I love playing her in Warriors. I love everything about Lind. In fact, I know you get her super late game in Shadow Dragon, but I don't care. I cheesed a boss mage for like 200 turns with a really weak tome just to cheese experience, and I got her maxed out 2020 by the end of that game. I was super psyched because I love Lind, and I think she even she helped get to the final blow because she's awesome. She is a cavalry colorless dagger, which is growing more and more popular as of late, and Lind has a BST of 147, or 144, sorry. 147 on the brain, I wonder why. 144. It's not ideal. Not the best. But the art is fantastic, and I love Lind. So naturally, I'm going to pull rank. I'm going to pop Lind in at S- tier, because she's not that useful, honestly. I seem to have gotten a bunch of her at one point. But she does have some useful fodder, and so I haven't completely merged her up. But usability-wise, she's not the greatest. But that's okay, because I love Lind anyway. And she still gets technically a pseudo S tier, even if it is S-. Oh, Camilla. Camilla. Summer Camilla. I remember when Summer Camilla got an ult, and people were upset because it was Camilla. Do you remember those times? Simpler times, am I right? She was pretty obvious, actually, in the teaser art as well, silhouette and all. She actually got like a direct lift, basically from her DLC in Fates, and so because of that, the originality is kind of meh, in my opinion. She also, however, power crept her sister, who was here the previous year, Blue Flyer tome unit, Corrin. Camilla has a BST of 150, and she is also a blue tome flyer. But you know, a couple base stats, not that big a deal. Still pretty much a fast offensive flyer for the most part, except she has slightly more defense than Res, which is kind of unique among most tome units for the most part. Juicy Wave is also dope. I gave it to my my +10 May, because we all know that Valentian is never getting a seasonal variant, he said, until they get into the dance banner this fall. Either way, Camilla, she's okay. I'm going to pop her in at A tier, along with Sister Corrin, because ultimately they kind of function the same. I care about them, like, semi-equally. I'm not a big fan of Camilla. Honestly, my friend Kevin really likes Camilla. I don't know why he really likes Camilla, but there it is. So for you, Kev, I'm going to put her in A tier. And also, for all you Camilla fans out there, she gets A tier as well. And if you don't like Camilla, then I guess put her lower on your own tier list. Takumi. Summer Takumi. I am actually genuinely kind of a fan of Summer Takumi for the most part. If I hadn't pulled such an absolute booty IV version of him, I'd probably use him more often. He's got a dope bow. Actually, all the units from this particular banner have pretty solid weapons for Inherit. So that's pretty cool. He is a colorless bow flyer. I don't think we had color bows at this point. Did we have color bows at this point? I don't remember. Either way, you know, Takumi, he originally, I'm going to say this unironically, he originally was my favorite Fates character. I know. So, for that, he gets some brownie points. However, I've grown less and less fond of Takumi over the years. Do you remember when all you needed was a Takumi with Vantage? When Faye first started? Do you guys remember those days? Those glory days, I'm telling you. He's a fast bow with some attack. Like, that's pretty much it. But he's a flyer. So, like, kind of like Bonoka. But seasonal and sporty. His art's pretty solid, though. Honestly. I'll give it up for that. And his bow looks pretty dope. Takumi, B tier. B tier. Respectable B tier. I was debating A tier, honestly, just for the memes, just for the memories. But I couldn't bring myself to do it, unfortunately. So B tier for Takumi. And finally, Summer Tiki, the last unit on this banner that we got. She was a is a dragon flyer. Red Dragonstone flyer, to be specific. And when she first debuted, she rocked it. Like, she was rocking the meta, my friends. When she first dropped, I remember distinctly people, like, freaking out at how good she was. Her weapon is insane. She has a BST of 168. Like, bruh, what more do you want? Super fast, too. Which was kind of uncommon for most dragon units, like, you know, a year back, 2 years back. She was kind of like the anti-dragon dragon at that point. Of course, now we have a lot more options. But she wasn't armored, which is great. And for that reason, I was genuinely a fan. Again, I pulled a minus attack one, so I didn't get to enjoy all of the Summer Young Tiki shenanigans that a lot of other people did. Who managed to pull her. But I'm still popping her in the A tier, as you can see. Because for the time, she was pretty dope. Again, she's still pretty good now. Any flyer unit, I think, is probably more useful, in my opinion. And I genuinely like Tiki. I like adult Tiki a little bit more, I think. But, side note, I just put Fortress Defense Wrist on my legendary Tiki, and they're like the same. They're like the same Tiki-ish, kind of. So for that, she gets a little boost. A tier, respectable A tier. Probably could be S- tier, just because she is kind of like that good. But this is my list, and I do what I want, and that's it. A tier, Ursula, the Clear Blue Crow. One of our new units, by the by, managed to pull her. Super stoked about that. BST 150. Relatively fast-ish, 34 speed stat. Attack unit. She is a cavalry colorless dagger with a respectable res. 28 res isn't bad. Overall, I think Ursula's a pretty solid unit. I think the weapon suits her pretty well. I'm not a huge fan of Ursula, personally. But I do dig this variant. Because she's not putting me through map hell in Blazing Blade. So, there's that. She gets a bonus point for that. I will admit. Ursula, overall, you know, pretty solid. Pretty decent. Definitely S tier material, in my opinion. But again, I hated her map in the game. So she's getting bumped down the peg. And it pained me to put her on the same level as Lind. Because I love Lind. Lind is the greatest. But ultimately, I feel like that's where she'll kind of settle. Again, her weapon type and her movement type are weird. And I love dagger cav units. You know me. They're the best. But ultimately, you know, this is just where she falls. Not really on my radar necessarily. Kind of hit or miss for the most part. But if you manage to pull her, I'm sure she'll be absolutely fantastic. So I'm gonna put her in S-. Summer Lalena. I have no opinion on her whatsoever. I'm gonna be brutally honest. I have no opinion on Lalena whatsoever. I don't care about Lalena that much. She is a red dagger cav unit. I don't know what the deal with like dagger cav units is. We have yet to get a water balloon hero in summer, which I feel like would be a good dagger weapon, meme weapon. I feel like that would be good. She actually has crazy high attack. She's got 38 attack. Her BST overall is 149. That's pretty decent, honestly. Her speed is meh. All right, 25 is basically high enough to maybe not get doubled by a juiced up armor unit. That's pretty much it. Other than that, she's pretty useless. But in the speed department, she's useless in the speed department. Just to clarify, the res base stat 35 is pretty darn high. However, her HP is pretty low at 35, so she can take a special hit, but that's about it. Anybody else is pretty much going to one-shot her with 16 defense. Boo. Her art's pretty nice, and it's actually getting a rework. I don't know if it's been updated yet. I think they're waiting until the next update to implement it. But the artist made a request, and so we're getting a slightly jazzier version that doesn't look... I think it affected the knees and like some shadowing, I think, is the main thing. But either way, Lalena, I don't really have strong opinion on one way or the other. B tier. I think she's kind of niche. I think she'd be a decent res ploy, like, you know, ploy unit, res tank, things like that. Her attack is super duper great. However, I have Micaiah's everywhere, so I don't really need a res tank / special nuke because I have Micaiah. So, B tier, respectable. Summer Lynn, the unit everybody loves to hate. I'm just kidding. I'm a big fan of Lynn, honestly. I genuinely do like Lynn. I think she's maybe a little overhyped in some circumstances, but I get the appeal. I see why people love her, and so I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I don't care if she has like 6 different variants in this game. It's whatever. It's whatever. BST 155. That's not bad. She's a blue bow flyer, because evidently IS just wants to canonize the fact that she never wielded a sword at all. The irony is, like, she's been every alt. Like, every alt she has is not a sword unit. And yet, at most, except Brave Hector, every variation we get of Hector is an axe unit. And so I feel like they're playing this weird mind meld. Anyway, I wish we had another Sword Lyn. I think that would be fun. But sadly, that's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't think. I think we're plagued with bow Lyns, unfortunately. 38 speed is pretty good. 33 attack is not so much. 27 res, respectable. If you get a minus attack one like me, that feels ouch. But either way, she's pretty solid. I'm a fan of the art. I'm a fan of Lynn. Blue bow flyer is hard to say, but fun to use for the most part. And again, I am a genuine Lynn fan for the most part. She's not my favorite, but she's like up there, I guess. So for that reason, we're going to go S tier. Just because of favorite rank. And I know that's going to be a controversial opinion, but we have probably... You know, I will say, Lynn was probably the unit I was looking forward to the most on this banner, until we had this next one. Fiora. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of getting non-base unit alts in the game, but Fiora, I am making an exception because I am a huge Fiora fan. I don't really care for Florina that much, and I know that's going to be a controversial opinion. And the best part is, she's free! She is in the Tempest Trials, which I think is out right now, unless I timed this video terribly poorly, in which case, oops. But, we do have Fiora. She's here. Her art is fantastic. I love everything about it, and she's free. Downside, she is a sword flyer, as if we don't have enough of those already. Sword units are already pretty overpopulated, and then we have the flyer thrown into it. But I do like flyer units regardless. BST 163. Whoa, that's pretty respectable. That's pretty respectable. She's got good speed, 37. Of course, there is no Bane or Boon, flaw or asset. You're pretty much getting what you get because she's free. And she might be the first one that I plus 10. I'm going to say it. It would have been hard, honestly, if I hadn't literally just plus 10'd a Cherish like a month prior. It hurts. But I plus 10 her. This could happen. Not promising, but this could happen. The Parasol is adorable, and I love it. Speed Res Link, Attack Smoke, it is what it is. You probably want her for the Speed Res Link for the most part. But don't fire her because she's precious and she must be protected. I love Fiora. I'm a fan. S tier. Boom. S tier. If maybe she wasn't a sword unit, I'd be more jazzed. But I get it. I understand. Lance Flyer probably would have been just as bad. But I'll take what I can get. I'm glad Fiora's in the game. S tier. And finally, my dude holding it down for this banner. He's got 4 female counterparts on this banner, and he don't care. My guy Wolt, and I'm going to show you the art in a second because I chose different art because it's so fantastic. Oh yes, that is the best damage art, I think, in this entire game. Fight me, you're wrong. If you disagree, you are probably wrong. This damage art is so good, and I love it. And he was actually part of the teaser. If you didn't know, that basket I thought was maybe a bucket for a standing castle. But nope, that's not what happened. But he is the only male on this banner. He is holding it down. He's a unique unit. We don't have him in as a base unit like Fiora, which I have feelings about, but it's whatever. And his damage art is just so top tier. It's so top tier, dude. You can't look at it and not be happy about it. And so because of all of these things, well, actually let me go through the BST first. 150 BST, green bow, cav unit, weird. Balanced offense, honestly. 34 attack, 34 speed, 40 HP. My boy over here. Not so much in the defensive stats. 17 res, 25 defense. But he's got crazy HP. He is respectable in attack. His speed is kind of big, but 34 is not bad. Maybe you get a boon. Maybe things work out for you. Who knows? And then the damage art, honestly. I'm thrilled. I'm over the moon. Wolt. You are going in S+ tier, my friend. Congratulations. No, honestly, I don't know. I'd probably put him in like S tier if I'm being genuine. Maybe S-. But Wolt deserves it. Wolt deserves it. Gosh darn it. Competing against 4 female units, one of which is free and adorable. He deserves it. He has earned his spot in S+ tier. Anyway, that's my tier list. So there you have it. That's my tier list. Let me know in the comments what your tier list is for this part 2 of the summer. If you missed the first one, it's on the channel. I might link it in the description. You can check that out. Additionally, there is a contest going on for Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Don't know if you heard of it. It's coming out in a couple weeks. Check that out as well. Link is also in the description. Yes, that's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you have? Who would you put in S tiers? Because it gets mucky after that. So who would you put in S+, S, and S-? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think we will get the other summer banners that have yet to appear? Let me know your thoughts on that as well. Anyway, thank you for watching, and that's it. I will catch you next time.